Hi, Cancer. Welcome to your tarot card reading for the month of August. My name's Wendy, and today we'll be using the Robin Wood Tarot. It recently occurred to me that people watch YouTube on their televisions. I just watch on my computer or my phone. And you notice a lot when things are blown up that big. So, yeah. Let's just say I record for a smaller screen format. Uh, Cancer. All right, let's see what's coming up for you this month. August, August, August. I hope Jupiter has been treating you so generously. Jupiter in Cancer. August. Okay. Four of Swords. The Emperor. Looks like you're planning something to execute in the future, a goal, a roadmap, a plan, a routine that will help you get where you want to go. This month seems to be about structure and balance. You've got the Seven of Cups. Okay, why don't we talk through these cards first, and then we'll continue to pull. So far you've got the Four of Swords, the Emperor, and the Seven of Cups, Cancer. So as I said, I do see an emphasis on giving yourself peace of mind this month, creating some organization, because the Seven of Cups indicates that maybe you've got a lot going on. There's some confusion. Maybe you've lost track. You've lost sight of a goal. You feel yourself slipping away. Because you are a cardinal sign, I wonder if there's been something that you had started but you're not sure how to continue. Sometimes with cardinal signs, we initiate things, we start things, or I should say, because we're acting on a creative impulse, we get the inspiration, and because you are that cardinal energy, you're an initiator, so you start something and you go off of that creative urge to make something, to produce, to envision and make real. And I'm wondering if along the way there's just been some chaos or confusion added to, or again, a feeling of like distance, maybe dissociating from there's been a separation of some kind, it feels like. And there's, this question of, how do I go forward? How do I identify something? How do I identify myself? How can I continue to nourish this seed that I've planted, this idea that I had? How can I continue that? Like, what is the next step? And so when that initial inspiration starts to wear off, then we start to map it out on the calendar. We get out our agendas, we schedule things. We want to make or create a clear roadmap to this goal. So, where do you want to end up? Where are you now? And how will you get there? It's all about creating a structure that is reliable, predictable, dependable. I see that writing things down is really going to help you in lists. You want to give yourself peace of mind, because maybe you've been holding it all up here and telling yourself, it's okay, I'll get to the grocery store and I'll wing it. And then once you're there, you're like, I'm overwhelmed. Just as an example, so writing something down, having a plan, and this can apply to many areas of your life. This Emperor really brings vision and stability to a space, to a project, to an organization. I see leadership here. I see a manager, a leader, an overseer, an owner, somebody who is busy running the empire. And because of the many responsibilities inherent in that role, this person has to delegate to other people. I need help with this. This has grown so big. I actually need someone to help me with a portion of something because something's just too big for one person to manage. And the emperor is overseeing everything, but is primarily concerned with creating those roadways, creating those maps, those networks. Where can I access resources that will serve my empire, so to speak? Like, very resourceful, knows who to talk to, knows how to ask for things, sees something and knows how to make it happen. And again, it happens by making those connections. It happens by, the number 4 is so emphasized for you, obviously, that it's happening through a step-by-step process, a holistic look or holistic understanding, right? Think of the 4 elements, think of the 4 seasons. It implies that you have this holistic or all-encompassing knowledge, resources available to you. You have a lot available to you, a lot open to you, and the emperor is not shy about accessing something or trying to strike up a new business deal, just let's make something happen. But again, there might be a feeling of disconnect from that emperor who's so at the top to maybe something that's more in the daily lived experience, the process. Like, I just feel like that emperor might have gotten a little bit removed from where it started. And that is a really good sign for a lot of you if you've been growing something. But it does also imply that this needs other help. You need other help. You need other resources. The emperor can, of course, be a father figure, a masculine energy. You're getting into your masculine energy, whether you are masculine, regularly or not. If you're more feminine, more like go with the flow, see how you feel, or more process oriented, it feels like you're really becoming more result oriented this month. And again, you get to that result by mapping it out for yourself. Having this structure is really going to build a solid foundation for you. Like, practicing regularly, there's discipline here. Discipline is going to help you. It's going to help build muscles. You're building muscles, whether they're mental, physical, emotional, financial. You're building muscle, and that takes discipline. It takes consistency. And I just want to go back to this card before we pull some more, because peace of mind is going to be very important to you this month. Rest, prioritizing rest. And that's why I see that emphasis on the routine and having lists, because you can sleep easily knowing everything's been taken care of. And put it up and make it visible for yourself. Maybe that's the manifestation tool for you this month, is a calendar, a whiteboard, a roadmap, a plan, and having it up and visible so you can always look at it and be thinking about it. You're not like, you want to remove obstacles for yourself and make things as crystal clear as possible. And I'm hearing one more message that somebody is daydreaming about becoming this emperor figure, but they lack, like, you're figuring out how to get there, but this emperor has made sacrifices, has, worked 16-hour days to establish something, as an example. Not that I want to promote like overworking ourselves or burnout in the name of progress. But I think, realistically speaking, if there's something you want to accomplish, it takes that amount of work. And I think sometimes in the New Age language, we focus a little too much on rest. We focus a little too much on the beingness and the feelingness, that a lot of people, in one way you feel connected to yourself, but in another way it almost feels like things are slipping by because you're not taking the time to contain them. Okay, what else does August have in store for the sign of Cancer? Oh, the Ten of Swords. I don't read reversals. So if you see me like rotating, it's just I don't read reversals. I've always been that way. So anyway, we've got the Ten of Swords. So you could be approaching burnout. I mean, Temperance. So you're learning about balance, and you're learning about incorporating something into your daily life to ensure that it's incorporated. Okay, this card it's there. Maybe it's about having some flexibility. The Knight of Swords indicates you could be going in multiple directions this month with a lot of busyness, a lot of responsibilities. This Emperor could be a boss who's maybe managing you, micromanaging sometimes, like sending you this way. Okay, now I need you over here. Expect a change of direction this month. Expect plans to change. So do let yourself go with the flow. So we talked about like the difference between going with the flow and then being more result oriented. There's a way to have both, but I really feel like you could benefit from having some kind of schedule, to create reliability, consistency here, because Temperance, like you're trying to heal something, you're trying to make something. Maybe you're incorporating something new into your routine, new vitamins, new medicine. Some of you are going to work better with others, and that Emperor can indicate explicitly stating your expectations, explicitly stating your boundaries, your needs, whatever it is in that context. This is how it's going to be. Like, I feel like, simplifying a little bit and just kind of shaving off the excess in your life right now and really getting down to the bare bones. Because again, Ten of Swords with the Seven of Cups, I think some of you are experiencing health issues as well. There could be headaches, backache, confusion, overwhelm. And these symptoms are coming from different places, but it's manifesting in the body. So it may start out as something that feels kind of mentally taxing or overwhelming, but then you find that it's manifesting physically or somatically for you. And like I said, I do often see with that Ten of Swords, burnout. It's like, okay, I've had one warning sign, two warning signs, a little bit overkill. Something's kind of overkill here. And again, that's why I'm wondering if somebody here doesn't trust. It's almost like an anxious energy that is failing to trust the reliability of the Four of Swords, failing to trust the reliability of the Emperor, even and I see that somebody is really making an effort to heal from this, to trust a little bit more, to letting themselves have peace. It has to have structure so that you've checked all the boxes. Like, create the checklist, check it off. I'm seeing somebody putting together an essay or a big project. It's a significant project. And there may be things that are unaccounted for. Either way, I see healing. I see you connecting more with your true vision. And this requires you to slow down a bit, have those moments to slow down. And it's interesting because after you So you reach this Ten of Swords, you've got burnout, you feel like it's just the end. You might feel devastation from something. I know there's a lot, the floods, the tsunami, the earth, like a lot of people are experiencing extreme challenges. And if you're in that position, my heart goes out to you and I hope that you're okay. For a lot of us, in a more mundane sense, but there's just this feeling of exhaustion and overwhelm and maybe feeling backstabbed or let down. But I think, something's been overdone here. So with Temperance, you realize what actually makes you free. Some of you maybe have been keeping yourself so busy to avoid feeling something or to avoid processing something. So pay attention to that tendency. Like if you notice yourself filling up your schedule just to stay busy, do those things actually have meaning? Do they add value to your life? Or is it just taking energy and then you're so tired that you don't have to think or feel anything? It might be a coping mechanism. But I can't help but notice the wings in these cards. You gain your wings and then you're able to fly. You're able to take off. You're ready to be the messenger. I feel this Knight of Swords is closely connected to the Emperor. And the Temperance indicates they're cooperating, they're working together. It's funny as I go on and on about like sleep and schedule and all this. I'm up every morning at like 3 or 4 a.m. lately. And I do normally try to nap, but this morning I thought I would just power through and just do some schoolwork and just kind of go with the flow a little bit. But I've got a rough schedule to keep me on track. So yeah, you're gonna reach a point of ending. And then comes the healing, then comes the wisdom. How can I do that differently next time? What experience or what wisdom did I gain from this experience? The Knight of Swords I really see connected to that Emperor. With Temperance, they're working together. And you may find that you work better with someone else, like someone else in the room with you, because you feed off each other's energy. You're flowing. You can bounce ideas off each other. It's like mixing new paint colors to see what you get. There's a profound lesson this month. There's a profound lesson, but you do come back to yourself with that Temperance card. Connecting to your higher self. If you could see yourself as an angel, you've got the angelic you looking down on three-dimensional everyday you, what would you tell yourself? How would you guide yourself? You see yourself in this daily existence. How are you functioning? What would you improve? What would you remove? And the more that you're aspiring and connecting to that higher self, they will eventually converge. That's the messenger. I think you have divine messenger contacting you this month. You're really in tune with your divine counterpart, I heard. Cancer for the month of August. Okay, you've got the Page of Pentacles. Let's get one more card. Cancer. The Sun. Wonderful, the Sun. Okay. Your energy levels will increase. Your health will improve. But there's something about being in the spotlight being visible. I'm hearing that there's something about physical evidence. You might get proof of something growing. Page of Pentacles really just wants to just take it slow, like learning, right? You're practicing, and so you want to master that skill. It seems hands-on. This month feels pretty hands-on. It feels creative. It feels cooperative, collaborative. And I will say that you're learning a lot about what's held you back. You're learning a lot about limitations. Sometimes the Page of Pentacles is another person that frustrates us because they just cannot grow, or they refuse to grow. Sometimes, and I'm not talking about like children. I mean, although with the Sun card there, I don't know if there is maybe a child here, but maybe they accelerate. Maybe there's a child you've been worried about, and they are accelerating at something. Like, you'll see their true gift come through. I'm actually seeing that the sun breaks through the clouds this month for that young person. But for those of us who are just thinking about, who deal mostly with people our age, like adults or whatever, there's something frustrating about another person or your setup, the environment. There's just, you feel limited somehow. And that's a tough thing to accept with the Page of Pentacles. I don't know if it's too much visibility or not enough. But I feel like what you're making and the results you get happen sooner than you think. Like the garden just grows out of control, out of nowhere. The Alchemist, the Temperance card, the Alchemist making gold. You may strike gold sooner than you thought. The Sun card being gold. I think some of you are actually striking gold sooner than you thought. You're seeing the sprouts. You're seeing the emphasis or the results a little bit faster than you. The evidence of results. You're seeing it a little sooner. The sun, of course, being the warmth and the nutrients for these seeds to grow. It feels like the way to turn something around is to hand make. I'm seeing a lot of DIY projects. It could be something maybe your kids make for you, or just something you're doing with friends, or a new hobby you're picking up. And I think you're realizing that you do really well at this. You're able to pour a lot of focus, a lot of energy into it. Of course, the Sun card too being Leo season, the sunflowers there. There's a profound connection to the earth and to the divine through earthly elements. I'm seeing an announcement, a launch, a reveal. It could be around the 19th of the month as we move closer into Virgo season. It feels like Virgo season, things start to make sense. Things start to make sense for you. Some of you are studying medicine. You're studying, I heard physiology. You want to learn about different parts of the body and how to heal them. How do they work? How do they function? How can I practice medicine to help people with Yeah, I think you're making gold, Cancer. Putting something out in the sun, releasing something to the sun. I've grown you, now it's time to release you. I can't help but wonder about the Sun card though, because we've talked about sleep, we've talked about headaches or somatic symptoms, and often with the Sun card, especially with Temperance here, I do get an emphasis on healing, health, medicine, healthier choices, different, just improving, wanting to make improvements. And the Sun card often does come up when there are health concerns or something needs to be addressed regarding the body. Energy levels could have been low. Physical evidence of like a hickey. I don't know why I'm seeing that. A hickey of some kind. Sun card can be that, right? That intense sort of like physical contact that leaves a mark. Because whatever it is, you're going to see it. And I know there's a lot of different people watching, so there's a lot of different possibilities, but I hope this is making sense. I've also been awake since 4 o'clock this morning. So things are becoming illuminated. They're being revealed. Sun is like that X-ray. Like, let's look under the surface and see what's going on. So there will be a solution. That's the good news. The Sun brings solutions because you see it all. Clarity, goals achieved. It just feels so celebratory. I really am drawn to the third week of August for you, Cancer. I think it's going to be an absolutely enlightening week. But in particular, you're starting to see things come together. You're noticing improvements in yourself, improvements in others, more of an effort to cooperate. Maybe there's some new ideas. It just feels like Leo season is kind of the plans and the vision, but also taking a bit of a rest to incorporate, right? You want to sleep on something and wake up and see how it feels in the morning. And then by the end of the month, it's like, again, you've made that gold. So well done. I hope this has been wonderfully inspiring and helpful to you. If you would like a personal reading with me, my email address is in the description box. So send me an email, tell me that you want a reading, let me know your questions, let me know your focus points, or you can say, leave it to the cards, just see what the universe wants me to know, and we can do that too. So until then, Cancer, I hope you have a wonderful month.